And we're back. Episode 11.
JP, is that you?
I believe so.
How are you?
I was ambushed by the gentleman from Corvée and tasered extensively.
Where are you now?
Somewhere dark. There are chains, wires, pain. But you need to listen.
Wasn't my fault.
Yeah, I blew out chance at the book with my dramatic romantic quarrels. Someone's on that rack.
It's not my period, you misogynist lackwit.
The plan is simple, children. Open the gates and it's my world. No more nations, no more culture, no more people. Unless you kind of want some cute things. And the only obstacle to that would be Carmilla and her doomed little paramour using those talismans to stop me. If you intend to serve me in hell, so to speak, you'll need to bring me something more substantial than excuses.
Hey, D-Bear. I know you're doing your dark side thing, and I don't want to cramp your style, but the Verity lady's talking about hell on Earth. Aren't you worried that might be a little bit aggro?
Kirsch, are you going to shut up or am I having beefcake for dinner?
I'll be good. Say, you don't think a guy paid an actual beefcake, do you? Because I'm seriously jonesing for protein and...
JP, you still there?
For a little longer. You had to know.
When she opens the last gate.
Hell on Earth. We all die.
No, JP, you can't go. I have to find you to save you. I need, if you're wired into the firewall, there's...
I'm not sure you can. My body, I can't move. I'll send when I can.
Oh dear.
So that's her plan. Unleash hell on Earth. Rule it.
I thought that was
Kill
obvious.
everyone in her way. It's clear. Concise.
It's why you and your dad need to get out of here. The Biomajor and I can find the other 3 talismans. What good will you do anyway?
Yeah. What good can I do?
I don't know. They look like Sumerian, but they're not Sumerian.
They're definitely in the Book of Lives. They crop up everywhere the second talisman is mentioned.
Are you getting anything from the glasses?
Yeah, something about putting your toys away when they're done. Yeah, they definitely haven't made sense since someone dropped them.
So... Dad's pretty much packed up everything, so I guess it's...
Yeah, no, I've got a lot to do. I have to trace down where JP is wired in and make a list of demon species capable of long-term possession.
Laugh.
Enjoy your life, Flora.
That was harsh.
So, how do you plan on getting off campus?
Dad's friend, Bob, giant. Turns out he was more than a match for some torches and pitchforks. He's waiting for us in a T4 walled. You could still come with us.
Yeah, bet your dad would be thrilled about that.
He'd get over it. And who knows? Maybe the Dean wouldn't even bother hunting you down. Maybe...
Hell on Earth would just stay in a nice little radius around Silas.
Not so much, huh?
Come on, sweetie. We should get going.
Guess I just never really imagined it ending this way.
How did you imagine it ending?
I don't know. I mean, Dad came all this way, and it's not like I'm some indispensable chosen one, and the smart thing to do would be to leave, right?
Clearly.
Bob's waiting.
Chill out.
Except... I don't know. I guess I thought I'd graduate and get a crappy job and go to Comic-Con with a girl I love. And And why should that be too much to ask? I mean, why should the Dean just get to decide that she's all power hungry and wants to be queen of hell and ruin everything for the rest of us?
Do you care? You're going home.
But I can't, can I? Not really. I can't just pretend that hell on earth is going to stop at the doorway of my childhood bedroom.
Well, it depends on what I reinforce it with.
No. Dad, you want to keep me safe. And I get that. But this isn't your decision. If the Dean is planning on ending the world in an all caps kind of way, I'm not safe on the sidelines. None of us are. The only way that we'll ever be safe is if we stand up, if we stop her, if we fight.
If you think I'm leaving you here.
Dad, look at this face. You know this face. You know what it means.
Resolve face.
And you know that I'm right. That's why you're gonna stay too.
It's like, what?
All right, well, this discussion isn't over, young lady. I have faces too.
So, how exactly does this new world-wise Laura Hollis plan on stopping my mother?
Well, we need 3 more talismans, right? I think I know where to start looking.
Interesting. Episode 12. That was 11. 12.
All right.
12.
About a year ago, I put my journalism project up online because my roommate was missing, and unbelievably enough, I'm doing it again. With JP and the library's help, Laugh thinks we can get one blast through the firewall, so we're broadcasting everything we've recorded over the last few days because you need to know what's going on. The Dean of Silas is some kind of ancient, unkillable, seriously evil thing. She's possessed my former Flordon and is using the student body as slave labor to open the gates of hell. Near as we can tell, she's got 4 open already, and when she opens the 7th, it's going to unleash, well, hell, which, from everything we know, is going to be immediately bad for Silas and shortly thereafter the planet. When I put up that first vlog, I didn't know if anyone could help. But if you're out there, if there's anything you can do, help us with the weird non-Sumerian symbols we can't translate, loan us a secret wand, or army of ghosts, or Death Star blueprints, anything, we'll take it. If we're still, alive in a few days, we'll try and broadcast again, but until then, just keep on hoping.
So not exactly we will fight on the beaches, huh?
Is that not inspirational enough about the impending doom? Look, we have to stop the Dean. I wouldn't be getting my Christiana Manpour on if that wasn't the most important thing there is, but the girl who thought all she had to do to save the world was get a webcam and be all, "Stand, women of Gondor," she doesn't live here anymore. I'm a realist now.
I'm glad to hear that. Because if you're planning to stay here and save the world, then we need to establish some ground rules.
Oh boy.
1. No more keeping secrets about vast supernatural conspiracies.
That's fair.
2. No more gallivanting off on dangerous missions.
Okay, we don't gallivant.
3. You run by any plan or activity that you intend to undertake by me for safety assessment. And you will wear any safety gear I deem necessary.
Dad, I am not wearing a biohazard suit again.
So I'll just be anywhere but here.
You must think I'm ridiculous, what with your sex, blood, and rock and roll attitude. But this is my job. Just making sure that she is safe for as long as possible.
And how do you plan on doing that? By locking her up in a tower?
It's a thought. It'd be something with really high walls.
Yeah, like a deep moat, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those man-eating dragons to guard it. You think that would work?
I don't know. She's always got a knack for finding trouble.
Oh, don't I know it. When she was 5, she tried to rally her kindergarten class against the evils of princess culture. Yeah, it was no less terrifying then.
I bet.
See, which is why I don't understand why you would have her stay here instead of coming home with me.
You think it was my idea?
What? Oh, please. She did not dig her heels in until after her little chat with you.
Trust me. If she were listening to me, you'd both be on your way back home.
What?
Yeah.
That is unexpected. Thank you.
Did she really try to start a kindergarten uprising?
Of course she did.
And there she was, just pigtails and all, and she says, "I have proof, Mr. Vice Principal, that you have been embezzling from the 4th grade candygram fund."
You're kidding me.
he had to resign. In fact, there was a picture of her in the local newspaper that I think I still have in my wallet.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's her preschool pageant right there. I'm just showing Carmilla some photos.
Some baby. Oh God, this is what an aneurysm feels like.
No, come on, don't be embarrassed. Oh, that's her little ladybug.
No, it's time for you to go. You have to help LaFontaine with the science power tool. Just go.
I don't know what you're getting all pink and huffy about.
You mean besides the mortification?
He's proud of you.
Which is amazing when you're 5. At 19, you could start treating me like an adult, you know?
I don't know. The only father I ever had saw me as an inconvenience until I was old enough to be traded as chattel, so I can't really empathize with embarrassing wallet photos.
I didn't think of that.
Ah, it's okay. It's not something you have to.
I know, but no, it is. Because we're friends now, right?
Stop saying that.
Yeah, sure.
Hurts her.
Friends.
God,
Yes.
Look at her. She's in pain.
Friends. You know, people who care when their callous attitude hurts the other one's feelings.
Wait. Is this because I wanted you to leave?
No.
Yes.
Yes! Do you know how that felt after everything?
It was to keep you safe. Which is all you've been saying you've wanted to do for the past 2 months while you moped around embroidering Firefly dialogue on the curtains. And then you didn't even go.
Well, sorry, my post-traumatic revelation was inconveniently timed for you.
Your oh, you mean how you're a realist now?
Yeah.
A realist? Really?
Well, it's better than being
You're just lying to yourself about that. A what?
smug,
Hypocritical?
superior,
Delusional?
condescending,
Tightly wound?
narcissistic,
prissy,
uncaring,
nerdy,
nihilistic,
journalist,
little,
you wish
undead.
you were.
Hello. So I guess they weren't singing after all. Sad. Rude.
Hey, Alice.
Oh my god. Betty?
We got your doomsday broadcast at Princeton. And if you and Single White Vampire aren't too busy, I've got your translation.
I'm sorry, what?
Those symbols you're wanting about, they aren't Sumerian. They're Proto-Akkadian. They mean shepherd and sword. So I'm pretty sure your second talisman is the lightning butcher right, Drusilla, dropped in the anglerfish pen.
Well, that was a very action-packed episode. What's up? 13.
Hey, Betty, and anyone else who might be watching. It's been about 72 hours since you popped up all extra mid ex machina, which, for those of you who missed it, went pretty much like this. What?
The sword.
What?
The second talisman is the blade pastor.
I'm sorry, I seem to think you keep saying that the soul-sucking sword that probably only left Carmilla alive because she didn't manage to, kill anything with it is the second talisman.
Sharp as ever, Hollis.
Since when is she an expert in ancient Mesopotamian languages?
My high school GPA was a 6.7 Morticia. When it turned out the evil fish god had decided to hijack my brain, I did some research. Was becoming an expert in extinct languages supposed to be hard?
Which just left us with the issue of getting our hands on the sword. Last we knew it was where Carmilla had dropped it, in the anglerfish pit. You know, the Dean and her minions from Corvia are currently engaged in the archaeological excavation of hell. Like, literal, actual hell.
So Maddie left clues about talismans?
We have no idea how many minions the Dean has down there, or how deep the excavation goes.
Okay, so I build us ninja suits and we hang glide into...
Ugh, you numbskulls always make everything way too complicated. I go in, I get the sword done.
And the possible army waiting for you?
It's simple. I carefully, stealthily, eviscerate anyone stupid enough to get in my way.
Like the Dean.
Solid plan.
Well, in the event we encounter her, I've narrowed down the demon list to about 5 kinds of awful she could be. There are the Sumerian ones called Lilitu. You can use an amulet to cast them out.
So a 1 in 5 chance. We play exorcism roulette with the Dean?
You know, I bet nobody ever accused Tesla of playing exorcism roulette.
It's a bit different.
Sounds like your dad's plans are ready for some applied genius. Let me know when yours are.
Raph needs to just chill the fuck out,
and
okay?
Dad's got a new project. Of course he does. To my luck, it's probably one of those tracking chips they put in pets. Look, I know you'd much rather just lone wolf it into the pit and grab the sword.
Really? What gave you that idea?
Because it's what you always do. And I get it. No fun discussing strategy with the preschoolers when you're so much smarter than us. It only gets worse when it's about your mother and your revenge, because then you might have to admit that your feelings are getting in the way. Then you might have to admit that you have feelings.
I think you better leave the insights to those who attended freshman psychology cupcake.
Like it's some profound revelation. You never want to admit how you feel. Not how angry you are. Not how scared you are that you'll never escape your mother. Not that you don't know if you can ever forgive me. Not that you aren't as confused as I am about what that kiss meant.
Please. I think nobody's ever kissed me to make themselves feel better.
It's not what I was...
Of course it was. Okay, you want to talk about feelings? You're scared, and you're lonely. And you're not sure you're up to saving the world because you couldn't even save this place. And you wanted to forget that, so you let go of your little friends act and you kiss me, and that's fine. But it doesn't mean I'm going to blindly go back to following your lead. I need that sword. And if you don't have a plan by sundown, I'm getting it myself.
So yes, if you were wondering, it was possible to make the Carm situation worse. For lo, I am Laura Hollis, romantic kryptonite.
True facts.
What would Hermione do? You're right. Should definitely worry about averting the apocalypse and not about the feelings. Or the kissing.
So, important stuff too.
Instead of obsessing, I have found us a primo source of intel. You may remember these weird bursts of static we were getting a while back. Turns out it's Mel, who's been podcasting the lowdown from the pit on the Silas Supernet.
Hi. So glad you found time to care. It's not like we were down here for 2.5 months. I can't believe I thought this was going to be an actual rescue.
Hey, this is totally an actual rescue.
The same way your glorious plan to reclaim the school ended with Lawrence, all evil dead, and the rest of us in a literal hellhole reenacting the 10 Commandments?
Okay, yes, that plan had a few snags, but we have a new, much better plan of which you are an essential part as our pit person. Pit insider? Ooh, embedded pit correspondent.
This is the worst.
We just need to figure out what's going on down there so we can nab the sword, collect the other talismans, defeat the Dean, and let everyone go. Wham bam, totally a plan. Laugh, are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah, no, not to throw a monkey wrench in all the planning, but I think I figured out what kind of demon the Dean is.
Laugh, that's amazing. What are we looking at? Sumerian wind demon, creepy super succubus, ooh, terrifying gorgon. Can we exorcise her?
Yeah, turns out that's not so much a problem. Because Adina's a god.
Oh shit, it's like Glory. We are on episode 14.
Like a god?
Did you just...
Like a god. Like a full-on as flies to wanton boys, destroyer of worlds, I'm the alpha and the omega god? God? That doesn't seem...
Okay. Yes, Mother is controlling and immortal and narcissistic, but
Good
there's
glorificus.
no way that she's a...
She's a god. Do we have a plan for a god?
Not really, I'm an atheist.
Okay, hold up. Before we deify anyone, you stop mentally Googling your favorite mythological quotes, and you explain to me how you came about this little revelation.
Okay, so I've been making a concordance of the Book of Lives, looking for clues about the other talismans and why they might affect the Dean. And I kept coming across all these references to Inanna and Ishtar and Astarte and the Descent.
That's just a Sumerian poem.
Yeah, but the book keeps talking about it like it never happened. Like, for some reason, this Inanna chick was psyched about descending into hell, so the other gods were like, or no, and they used blood magic to bind her into human form using 4 talismans. Which, given that the Dean's looking to open the gates of hell, and we're looking for 4 talismans to control her...
Inanna. She's a pretty big god. Like, we aren't talking about some third-rate footnote in charge of sheep bedazzling. That's like your nemesis is Zeus or Odin. Zeus and Odin aren't real. Wait, are Zeus and Odin real? Shouldn't we have known if gods were real?
Of course they aren't real. And even if they
She
were,
don't know.
there's no way that Mother's Inanna, because Inanna's a capricious god of love and warfare. All right, but you know, she loves unquestioning worship and tricks people and threatens to summon the dead.
We're up against a god. Does anyone else miss the days when all we had to deal with were vanishing girls and university was probably only run by vampires?
Oh, hi. Hi, remember me hanging out in a pit full of Zetas and vampire?
What are you doing over there?
Look, if you 3 are done having your religious crisis, then maybe you want to, I don't know, listen to my freaking podcast and then make a plan to get the sword.
Let the wolves devour you and all your cookies. Ah, crap!
Wow. So I guess that's been happening.
It was nice to see Elsie again, though, huh?
Okay, so here's the lowdown. They have us working in 16-hour shifts. And near the end of the day, they ring this big bell, and then we all trudge back up to the barracks to sleep. Usually either Lawrence or Human Tapeworm Theo are supervising with a few of the quarterly boards, but near the end of the day, he gets bored, so he turns out to kick off a little early, you know, for beer and a hearty round of harassing the Demon prisoners. That confusion's probably your best chance to slip in.
And the sword. Do you even know where it is down there?
Well, that's the good news. I mean, if any of this can be remotely considered to be good, nobody wants to touch that thing. I mean, her supreme prisoness won't even go near it. They had us wall it off behind a cairn of stones while we were digging down to the first gate.
Alright. So we wait for the shift to change, sneak in, and dig out the sword, yeah?
Oh, I still think if we had ninja suits and hang gliders...
We'd be the henchmen from a Bond film. Simpler and less prone to mid-air collision is definitely more our speed, and I'm sure Carmilla would be backing up on that. Wait, where's Carm? Did she leave?
Deborella? She just grabbed a spear and left, but how did you guys miss that?
One broody gay rescue later.
Here we go. Almost there. And there we go.
I'm fine. Stop fussing.
Oh, I see. So fine is our new code word for mysteriously lost consciousness at the pit and had to be rescued by the frail little humans, huh?
Yeah, I must have just hit my head on a rock while I was digging out the sword.
Oh, well. I guess it's a good thing then that you didn't go down there all alone without any backup to carry you and the talisman safely out of the giant evil hell pit.
Is there going to be a lot more of this bloating? Because I'm starting to miss unconsciousness.
Oh. I guess the library's pleased. So, victory! Well, mostly, despite Carm's little case of the vapors. We managed to steal the sword, sneak back to safety before the Dean even noticed we were gone. Score one for the team.
Laura Eileen Hollis! Did you pick a fight with a god?
Eileen. finished the whole season, I guess, or the first act. I got 3 more.
Dad, no picking fights. We just had a small errand to run and...
Into a giant hell pit that you snuck into without telling me.
Hell pit has such pejorative connotations. I'm sure its denizens prefer netherworld excavation.
No, you are not wheedling out of this one. We agreed.
No, Dad, you agreed. And what do you expect me to do? In the course of my lifetime, you have protected me from polyester.
Well, they have those carcinogens that leach into your skin.
Swimming holes.
The amoeba that eat your brains.
And my class trip to Clownville.
That place is a cultural Chernobyl. We're not talking about you eating candy corn for dinner, which you definitely also should never do. But we're talking about you crawling into a pit where an evil god who has tried to kill you twice has been camped out with her vampire army.
Okay, yeah, when you put it that way, it sounds kind of bad. But I wasn't alone. Laugh and Carm were with me.
Oh, great. The revenge-obsessed vampire and the lab junkie with the self-preservation instincts of a lemming. I feel much better. I don't mean that personally, obviously.
No, it's totally accurate.
Yeah. Thanks for the support, guys.
What do you think this evil god is going to do when she finds out you stole her sword? This is exactly why they kill the parents off in those stories, I swear. Because if those poor slobs had to watch what their children actually do, they'd go mad, all right? Do you think about what you did? How close you came to hurting yourself?
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make you worry. I don't want you to be so scared for me all the time.
It's too late. When I think about what could have happened to you...
Dad, I can't stop things from happening to me. Life happens. And if the Dean ends the world, it doesn't matter if you lock me in the tallest tower or the deepest nuclear bunker. Sometimes there is no safe unless you fight back.
I wish you had gotten so smart to figure that one out. Okay. You need to tell me, alright? And you need to let me help. I called Dad on that one.
Okay. We'll find you some dad-sized adventures. Okay, so less adventure, more Rubik's Cube. We need to figure out what the third talisman is.
We got 2 out of 4. The book calls the third talisman the chalice, but it also called the book the word and the sword the blood.
So it might not be literal. It could be sacred wine, or a favorite mug, or a bong, like one of the board members had a secret mystical hookah. Not that I would know what a hookah is. It's like some kind of gourd, right?
So the book led us to the sword, so maybe there's some sort of clue on it, like if we spill blood on it or put it in the fire, like...
The One Ring of Sauron? Are we seriously pulling our experimental procedures from Middle-earth?
Why not?
Put these... Stop!
Nothing. Spent the last 3 days burning, freezing, and psychoanalyzing that hunk of evil, and all we've got to show for it are burnt fingers. Seriously, Betty, if you have any idea about how to get this thing to spill its talisman of beans?
You really want to feed that ego any more than you already have?
Too much help us, Betty-Wan Kenobi? It's hard not to be impressed. When I knew Betty, she was a hot mess barely passing poli-sci. Now she's gearing up for her second year at Princeton, summa cum laude, VP of the debate team, and nationally ranked as a fencer. Oh yeah, and she's learning dead languages in her spare time. I mean, I barely made it through second term.
Because you survived second term. And hey, if you're being graded on a Silas curve, then...
Still nice to have someone to talk to, you know?
Why, you can't talk to young Holtzman? Or your dad? Me?
Of course I can talk to you. It's just... Betty, I don't have to worry about stepping in 5 different types of history before I finish my sentence. Or that I'll be selfish and kiss her and clear violations of the Friends guidelines.
Ah, no.
You deserve better. And you were right. I can talk about being a realist all I want, but I have no idea how to do this.
Yeah, you're not doing so bad. And last I checked, we've got 2 talismans already.
Yeah, I guess we do. Now, if we only had any idea about where to start looking for the 3rd.
Sweetie, I noticed that your evil sword had some dirt on it.
That would probably be giant anglerfish goo.
Of course it would. So I polished it up, and it turns out there's something written on it.
Oh my god, that's more Sumerian. Carm, can you translate?
Yeah, that one's necklace, and I think that one's secret.
So it's some kind of secret necklace? Did one of the board members have a secret necklace?
It wasn't a secret. It was a hid one. Hattie's locket. Which I had. And I lost it.
Hey, Betty. So I've detected a theme amongst the talismans. It's items loaded with personal baggage likely to get you killed obtaining them. I'd have preferred potent potables, but I can hardly wait to figure out what the 4th one is. Maddie's locket, but wasn't that her own super secret life-extending thingamajig?
No, the spell that made Maddie unkillable was on the piece of her heart inside. The locket was something else. I think she acquired it after Mother maneuvered her onto the board. I guess whatever the board was 1,000 years before there was a university.
Will it still work if it's all busted up?
Well, I'm not sure that matters if we don't know where it is.
And you haven't seen it since?
No, I took it off and the next day it was gone. I mean, maybe Red Sonja knew it was a talisman when she came here to steal the book, or maybe the library shuffled it off somewhere. Hey, I'm not the one smacking people with books and writing messages in blood, buddy.
Okay, maybe let's not antagonize Ascension Building. Although, if it did stash it away for safekeeping, now would be a really great time to give it back. No? Sorry, by the way. No, it's all you had left of her. Yeah, that's my fault too.
No, there's a lot of people's faults. Lauren's, yours, mine, Maddie's. I mean, she'd have been the first to tell you she would have killed everyone on campus that got in her way.
Still miss her, though.
Yeah. Well, I was like...
Maybe we're coming at this from the wrong way.
What do you mean?
Well, Maddie. She'd never bother with all this scrambling around to find talismans.
Well, the talismans were how the board controlled the dean.
Yeah, but before the boards, there were the people that made them. The ones who stopped the dean in the first place.
Yeah, but we're not talking about people, we're talking about gods.
Gods who put an awful lot of effort into keeping the dean from opening the gate. But you bet they're not thrilled about what she's up to now. But before we had a chance to really get our blasphemy on, we were saved by the bell. If by bell you mean mind-splitting feedback because JP needed the floor.
So sorry to interrupt, but I fear I have to risk.
Explain to me why I shouldn't let my darling, deadly girl peel you like a crepe.
Why am I taking all the heat for losing the sword?
Because you were the one being a corporate creep when Team Fangless stole it. I say I try to Zeta toss. See if I can hit the middle of the 5th seal from 100 feet up.
5th seal? Have they already unearthed it?
I'm afraid so. Time is shorter than we think.
That's enough! You never let me do anything. Don't kill the weasel who stabbed you. Don't tear the head off your precious Carmilla.
Don't forget yourself, girl. I raised you from the dust when no one cared about you. Not your school, not your so-called friends. They used you up. and spit you out. Did sweet little Laura even shed a tear before giving up your school for her precious Carmilla? Besides, their time is coming. I may not be able to breach the library quite yet, but after the 5th seal is open, well, keep an eye on things. I have to prepare for the ritual. And put the boy down. He's of no use without a windpipe.
Ritual? Is that how they're opening the seals?
Yes. I'm starting to suspect some kind of sacrifice is involved.
D-Bear? I care that you were dead. I'm not just saying that so you'll stop chowing down on me like I'm a cursed Slurpee. I could see how much you wanted everybody to be, like, safe. And Laura totally cried. You were, like, her hero. You were everybody's...
So thanks to JP, we not only have terrifying insight into how badly the Dean has messed up Danny, but also the totally not bone-chilling revelation that she'll be opening the 5th seal ASAP, and coming for us next. Which means it's time to start looking outside of the box.
Still up to summoning a bloodthirsty pagan god?
We've got 3 candidates. Enki, the god of knowledge, Hoster, the shepherd of men, and Erishkigal, the queen of the underworld. I'm thinking she's our best bet. She's like the Dean's sister, or reflection, or both, and the locket is hers, what with the book belonging to Enki and the sword to Hoster. And it's her turf the Dean is looking to take over.
Okay, well, why stop at bloodthirsty pagan god when you can go full-on death goddess?
Thinking the reason that we're always in over our heads is that we keep on picking fights that are over our heads. If the Dean has some supernatural nemesis who might want to help, why not give that a try?
Would you look at that? I wonder how it's just master.
Look at us. Making plans, strategizing, comrades working shoulder to shoulder with no desperate kissing or lusty sexual undertones. No awkwardness.
Oh,
just
really?
Good old-fashioned platonic buddies.
Oh yeah, so platonic.
Yeah. So, oops.
Oops. Last one.
Hey, Betty. That was definitely not supposed to happen. It's just... She was being all supportive and... Ugh, stupid... sexy vampire... Stupid... desperate hormones. It was just a slip, right? One-time thing. Because we are grown-ups. And grown-ups don't just fling history and caution and all this stationery on top of their desks to the wind. Grown-ups control their hormones. They do not control us.
Hey, I was thinking about doing a coffee run. Do you want anything?
Yeah, coffee sounds great and totally normal. I really like coffee, buddy.
Buddy.
Yeah, I'm getting you decaf.
I'm doomed. Hey, Betty. I thought you couldn't get through the communications block most of the time.
Sometimes I just say that so I can screen your calls. Because, and I can't stress this enough, having to listen to you describe your dysfunctional sexcapades with puss and biker bits makes me want to punch out my eardrums.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Focus up. The Dean is already onto the 5th gate and you need 2 more Horcruxes, Alice.
Yeah, about that.
Alright, let's say I admit hypothetically that our best chance at getting the locket is summoning up the Dean's underworld nemesis. How do we even know she has it? And how are we going to get her here? And then when she's here, do we even think she'll give us the locket? I mean, she's the Dean's sister. How do we know she's even on our side?
Well, the locket is hers, and she made it to trap the Dean to begin with. Not to mention that she apparently knows everything the dead will ever know, which sounds like some sort of clairvoyance, which might even include the 4th talisman. So my vote is that we give one of the invocations in the Book of Lives the good old Silas try. Like, see, here, we could use the essence of the Death Lady to draw a circle and then contain her.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to kill anyone if you're all incorporeal and trapped.
Okay, so we make a circle, summon up this Ereshkigal, and then... what? convinced her to give us the locket on our shared burning hatred for the Dean.
Oh, I've done stupider things.
Although, we didn't have to run those plans by my father. Into the bag, Dad. Just keep breathing into the bag. And now a quick recipe for Death God summoning. You will need half a cup of desiccated spiders, of course.
Of course.
Why couldn't they just use powdered sugar? What would be wrong with a little powdered sugar for once? 3. Half a And now pour the rest of it also into the skull box Alright, here goes some witchcraft. So, hi, Queen of Death.
She's talking to a skull.
We were thinking we'd invoke you by the names of the Queen of the Earth, she who guards the gates and knows the names of all the dead. We bind you and command you. Stand before us now. Pretty please. And she has to show up eventually, right?
Oh shit.
Ooh. Who are we waiting for?
Really? That's the end? Well, that blows. Okay. Alright. Well, thanks for watching my reaction to Act 1. I'll see you on September 29th for Act 2.